It's no secret that Instagram is the #1 social media app in the world. Whether you want to find your ideal date or partner, if you want to work with amazing brands or build a long-lasting profitable business, get thousands of followers and be recognized, Instagram is it. Now, because it's the #1 social media in the world, there are just way too many people trying to grow on Instagram. It's become oversaturated, and of course that's a problem. If you want to grow on IG, you need to know exactly what you're doing. If you think you're gonna grow a large following just by posting cool content nowadays, you're absolutely wrong. And that is why I interviewed someone who worked at Instagram for years. Today, I want to share a preview of this interview with my friend John Yushai. Now, the full interview can be found on my new program, Instagram Unlocked. And Instagram Unlocked goes deep into the exact process that I use to gain 1.7 million followers, which led me to find my girlfriend Robbie, work with amazing brands like Omega, Ferrari, Old Spice, Delta, MasterCard. And my team and I worked so hard on this program for the past year to make sure that we have a proven step-by-step system that anyone can use to, build and grow their own Instagram profile. And on Instagram Unlocked, we cover some exclusive insights on how to grow your Instagram using the power of the algorithm instead of what most people do, which is they're scared of the algorithm. Look, at the end of the day, I truly believe that having a good Instagram profile can help you achieve a lot of amazing things in life. I've had access to some of the most insane, prestigious events, celebrities, opportunities, all by having a large Instagram following. It's actually it's pretty mind-blowing. So let's get to it. Here's the interview. I hope you enjoy, and if you do, check out Instagram Unlocked. Good luck. What's going on, guys? My name is Alex Costa. Welcome back to another video here of Instagram Unlocked. I am joined by the one and only John Yushai, ex-Instagram, ex-YouTube employee, now turned creator. This guy lives and breathes content creation, knows everything about it. So I thought it would just be an amazing time to bring him here to answer some burning questions about Instagram, because these guys, they want to grow on Instagram, John.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, I told Alex, no filters. Ask me any question. Let's get into it, man.
So we used to work at YouTube together.
Yeah.
First of all, that's how I know John.
Yep.
And then we did a video for my channel back in the day about Instagram.
Right.
It's changed so much since.
It's crazy, yeah.
How long did you work at Instagram for? What was your role there?
3 years, about 3 years before I left, and I led marketing for their video team. And a lot of that was IGTV at the time, and one of the first hires on their creator marketing team as well. So trying to help a lot of creators get monetized, think about how to make that sustainable. And yeah, it was an exciting few years there. And this guy convinced me to get follow him out from corporate to creators. So yeah.
The guys at Instagram now hate me because I took away this beautiful person from their team, and he's so knowledgeable. He knows everything about social media in general. I mean, you're killing it on Clubhouse. He is a source of knowledge for NFTs and crypto. I mean, he's the man.
You're too kind, man. I'm excited to share that knowledge, so yes.
So I think the first question that I have for you is, and let me say this, a lot of people that are watching this, they're probably scared that there's no room for growth on Instagram. They think there's too many influencers. There's a lot of people that do exactly what I do. There's a lot of people that do fashion, gaming, whatever it is on Instagram and other platforms already. So why should I do it? Is there room for growth on Instagram right now?
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the big problems that Instagram has been trying to solve, because I think a lot of people watching this, you've probably had that problem, can I grow on Instagram, had those questions, hit a wall. And I think it's all about knowing about which formats on Instagram to use, right? So to me, Instagram is like a buffet, right? You think about it as the 5 different trays or dishes that you could choose from at any given time. Stories, photos, video, formerly IGTV, live, and reels. And it's really important to know which one of those 5 are for growth and which one of those 5 are for engagement. Because I find that people confuse those all the time, and they're like, wait, I'm posting more photos, but I'm not growing. Well, that's an engagement tool, right? By and large. I'm posting so many stories, that's engagement, right? So if I think about what of those 5 are all about growth, I think Reels and live. And I know live is one that people don't often talk about, so I'm gonna get into why you could use that to grow. But the other 3, by and large, video, photos, and stories, are all about engagement. Those are when you have an audience, what do you do to keep them interested engaged, attentive, know more about your story. But I think most of your audience probably wants to know about how to grow, right?
Exactly.
So we could talk about those two trays in the buffet if you want, Reels and Live, but that's my short answer to that question.
I love that so much because, you know, it's so funny because when we talked for the first time,
Yep.
Reels wasn't even a thing.
Yep.
TikTok wasn't even a thing. It was just starting. It was probably Musical.ly back then. So now Instagram has developed these new tools to boost the growth on the platform.
Yep.
And I think Reels is something we can talk about it right now because I think it's such a big piece that people don't really understand how powerful Reels are right now. So do you think it's even possible to grow without posting Reels on IG?
It'll be incredibly hard to, and you'd have to really think about like the right collaborations, the right partnerships. Like you use Live in a way for that, but you could try to like find off platform track, but it'd be really hard to grow today if you don't have a really sound Reel strategy. And I think we could go through that in this video and like talk about step by step to help everyone watching this make that Reel strategy. But no, I think it'd be very hard to answer your question, to grow today without Reels.
It's funny because when I started posting Reels, I think I had just shy of 1 million followers. And then I started posting and I grew about 200,000 followers in a couple of months. And then now I'm at close to 1.7 million followers.
My God,
And
dude. Wow, that's incredible.
Honestly, it's all because of Reels. It's so interesting. When I post a photo now, I actually tend to lose more followers than if I don't post anything. So my unfollows go up when I post a photo. It engages well, people love it. I like posting photos, I enjoy the creative process, but it's actually not good for my growth.
Yeah.
So when you're doing Reels, are you supposed to just post one a day? What do you recommend here for growth?
So when it comes to quantity, I always tell creators I work with, quantity leads to quality, right? So you don't often know what's gonna pop or what your audience wants unless you're posting consistently enough to get that signal, right? So does that mean once per day? Does that mean even twice per day? Does that mean once every 3 days? It's up to the creator and how often you feel like you can post to get enough stuff out that's good enough. Don't optimize for perfection, just make sure it's good enough, right? And then see what's popping off and be like, okay, maybe these like quick change ones that you do are the ones that I should do more of, right? And develop a system, like you shoot multiple Reels per day. How many Reels, like would you say?
I usually do 7.
Just putting that perspective for everyone, like that's amazing, like batch production, and then you schedule the release.
Exactly,
right?
Because I know that it's important to be consistent, and I know that sometimes I won't have the time to shoot a Reel that day. So if I have the Reels done, I know that I am set for the week.
Exactly. Set it and forget it.
Yeah.
The more you could post that makes sense for your audience and you're monitoring your analytics to see that, okay, the following is not going down, it's going up, then keep posting. But I'd say it's like how you find those Reels matters too. So another quick tip for people watching, take a look at the audio and take a look for that little trending up arrow. And is it trending up? And click on the audio and go there and see how many Reels have been made for that trending audio. And if it's below 10,000, that's a good one to jump in on. Do you look at those as well?
Definitely. Yeah, I look at audio, I see what's going on. Sometimes I even try to create my own trend with my own audio to see if that works. And it has worked before. So I think audio is something that, it's funny because it wasn't even a part of Instagram not that long ago, but now it's a huge part of Instagram.
Yeah. How do you find like, okay, like are you scrolling through like on a day-to-day basis and you're like, that's a good audio, here's an idea. Like how do you think about your production process for people trying to learn?
Yeah, I think a lot of times if I find something cool during the week, I'll just save it.
Yep.
And then other times, like the day before I shoot, what I'll do is I'll just scroll through Reels or TikTok for probably like half an hour to an hour and just save everything that I like. Any of the audios that I really think are popping. I'll also take any ideas that I see and just try to put my own spin on these ideas. Because I do try to put a lot more effort into my content in terms of having professional cameras and better lighting and like bringing Robbie in, just trying to put my own spin on trends that are already popping. That's usually what performs best for me.
Totally. And I think that's an important thing for people to realize. Like you don't need to start from scratch. Like a blank canvas is so overwhelming, but if you look at what somebody else has done, it's like, oh yeah, how can I just change it a few percent? I think Virgil Abloh had this great quote, is like creativity is just changing something 3%.
That's great. That's so good.
And,
I love that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Virgil, man. What a legend.
Yeah,
what a legend.
I think that was, don't quote me on it, but I think that's what he said. That's like, you just have to change it enough. That way it's familiar, but unfamiliar, interesting. So I think a lot of that is true with how quickly content moves nowadays.
I heard something the other day that we're living in a 3-second world. And I
That really hit me because it's so true. You know, everything that we see, if it's not interesting enough, if it's not entertaining enough, if it's not providing some type of value, within 3 seconds, it's done. On to the next, scroll over, you know, what else is on my feed? What do you think about that, and how should creators approach the 3-second world to make sure that you are attracting that attention and keeping people engaged right away?
I think there's two things you could do. You either complain about it and be like, oh, I wish people have like longer attention, and be like, that's the way it is, and try to like figure out a way to like innovate or up your creativity. And one thing that I think about a lot that maybe is another tip for folks listening is how can you change your camera angle beyond what the human eye can see? So if you could start your first 3 seconds like on the floor, or like start with an overhead shot, something that the human eye doesn't see on a regular basis, or like on the wall, it just immediately sends a message of like, oh, this is an interesting perspective that maybe the rest of the video is going to be different about.
That's so good. It piques their interest. They're like, wait, why is this shot this way? I've seen some videos that the frame is normal, but they zoom in to like a chandelier or the mat or whatever, a book, and then they zoom out to the person. That's the first 3 seconds. I'm like, why did I watch this? But they got me.
They got you.
They got me.
I
think that's super interesting.
Yeah. So stopping your scrolling that way is, I'm now starting some of my reels like on the floor, like with just looking at the camera, and just a way to have a bit more fun.
If you guys start watching my reels now and they all start from the floor, then you know what happened.
It started you.
A lot of people watching are also new creators. They're just starting now, which is awesome, by the way, and I'm so excited for these guys. If you had to narrow it down to 1 or 2 things for them to stand out, for them to grow faster than everyone else, what would you recommend?
I can totally relate to like what it's like to be like a new creator trying to go all in, and one thing I'd say is try to hedge your bets in a smart way. And I'll give one tip on growth and one tip on monetization that I think more creators starting out should be thinking about. When it comes to growth, we've talked a lot about reels, and this is again Instagram specific, but take a look at live. About a year ago now, Instagram launched their 4-way live. 4 people can go live together instead of just 2. That means if you can invite, 3 other people, notifications will be sent to all of their audience to tune in. And again, depends on your format. You should be really thoughtful about it. But one thing that I've done as I've been starting out is started this thing called creator office hours. And I'll have a featured creator, and then sometimes I'll have an illustrator drawing like some of the things we're talking about live, and we bring on a 4th person from the audience. And it's almost like this way that it sends notifications to them, and then they answer the question, myself and the creator, like almost like if you were able to participate in this right now, it would be a version of that.
Right.
And I've done different versions of it, but I actually had one live stream where, because I'm Persian, I invited other like Persian like creators who are just crushing on the platform. At one point, we have 25,000 people on the live.
No way.
I grew by about 5,000 people. After 1 hour.
That's incredible.
They grew, like I think one of them grew by like 10K after 1 hour. And if you think about it, if you're very thoughtful about how you bring the right people together, it's a great overlap, because it's like there's something that brought these people together beyond just me like making a connection. And so the audience like enjoys like this. It's almost like discovering them in a more intimate way than your explore page.
Yeah.
So I'd say if you could think about 4-way lives in a thoughtful way, that's a great opportunity for growth. That I promise you, most people, I'm like shocked more people aren't talking about this.
5,000 in 1 hour. I mean, you said 10,000. I'm just gonna say 5,000 in 1 hour is actually massive growth on Instagram.
Yeah.
That is legit growth.
Yeah. So that's my tip on like growth beyond reels and everything we talked about, is really think about what's your 4-way live strategy, right? Notifications have to be sent out. Instagram is also incentivized, so they want people to tune in, right? Live is very different than like search and video on demand. Then the thing I'll say with monetization, I think a lot of creators are like, let me grow until ads kick in and brand deals like can start coming in. The truth is, I think as a creator, you've probably learned a ton to even grow to 10K or 20K that are like editing skills, or you may have a camera, you may have bought gear. Go to a brand and say, here's some of the services I could offer you as like almost like as a freelance creator. And think about like, yes, you could one day monetize your audience, but if you really want to do this, like almost like as a mini agency, if you go to a boutique hotel, like if you say, hey, I'm coming to this city, I would love to stay with you. I can offer this like package of like posts, like 3 story feeds. I could also take a bunch of professional shots of you. If you want headshots for your employees, I could do that if I have a camera. I promise you, you'll start developing relationships with brands, and then you start growing, and there's already that open channel of them then sponsoring you because you have an audience. So if I had to think about monetization, it's like, it's not just about like audience, it's also about the skills you develop and how you could offer that to other people.
It's funny how it always kind of goes back to providing value and building your network.
Yes.
You know, having that relationship, whether it's with brands, other creators, like, you know, you bringing people onto your live stream. It helps you, it helps them,
Right.
it helps the illustrator.
Yes.
You're giving money away. It's
Yeah.
a win-win-win-win.
Yes.
And I love that so much, man.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be possible without social media.
Yes. Yeah.
Social media has its bad parts. I get
Absolutely.
it, but it's just so, it's also so good. It
Yeah.
can be so good.
Yeah.
And I love it that you use that power for good, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah.
It's been great having you here. Thank you so much for answering all of your questions.
Man. Always a pleasure.
Guys, make sure to check out his Instagram. Everything is going to be listed right here. Thank you, John, so much. I
Anytime,
really appreciate
Alex.
it, man.
Yeah, anytime. Go get it, you guys. I'm excited to follow you guys along. And
Crush
thanks,
it.
Alex. Yep.